What is a circular saw? A rotary circular saw is most often electric or battery powered and has changeable blades. Often spins blades more than 6,000 RPMs per minute. That's revolutions per minute. So this is a very powerful tool and also a very efficient tool. Next slide, please. Use of a circular saw. Circular saws have many applications. Nearly every construction project, stud wall construction, sheeting, or trimming requires the use of a circular saw. How to use a circular saw. Understand the different parts of a circular saw. We have a short video we can show you to understand the different parts of a circular saw.
Hi, this is John on behalf of Expert Village. In this video clip, I'll be talking about parts identification on circular saws. The circular saw that I chose for this demonstration is quite old. You can no longer buy all metal circular saws. The reason I chose this one is because it has all of the basic features that you see on circular saws nowadays.
Bevel.
The first part is the handle. This is where you're going to grab on and hold on your circular saw. On that handle, we have a trigger switch. If you push that trigger in, the saw will turn on. If you release that trigger, the saw will turn off. Next, we have our depth adjustment knob. What this knob is going to do is it's going to allow us to change the depth of cut. The big metal part down here is called the shoe. What that'll do is that will rest on our board and help keep our saw straight.
Or commonly called your base.
Now we have our lower guard. When I raise the guard, it
retracts as you cut
the blade. That guard is there to protect you just in case you accidentally hit this with your hand or you set the saw down and it tries to cut into whatever you set it on. After that, we have our kerf indicator, which is this little cutout section right here.
Help you make a straight line,
This is going to tell you where your line is. So I'm going to put my line that I draw right up against that mark, and that's going to give me a straight cut. And lastly is our bevel adjustment knob. What this will do is it'll allow us to make cuts at different angles by tilting the blade to a specified angle.
0 to 45. Our next slide, I'm sorry. Circular saw types. There are many types of circular saws in use in construction. Some of the common ones used are the miter saw. The miter saw is commonly used for cutting angles very quickly. The table saw. This is an example of a table saw. Most large construction sites you'll have a table saw. Most small construction sites you have what's going to be common, which will be the hand saw you'll use. Also, you have the handheld circular saw, or called the radial arm control saw. The panel saw, tile and mason saws, and biscuit jointers. This is an example class of a battery-operated circular saw. This is real popular in construction. A lot of times you'll be on sites where you don't have electricity. So the newer saws have a battery operated. This is an 18-volt battery. The newer battery comes out is called the lithium battery, which lasts a lot longer. It's very powerful. You can cut up to 4 hours continual with the lithium battery. Next slide, please. Circular saw and bench saw. If you're working in a large shop, you have the bench saw, which is a big, large piece of equipment. Very dangerous. It has several guards along here you can see in the video to make sure you don't get your hands close to the blade. It also has several pieces here to help you cut straight angles. The circular saw bench table. This particular one has guards to protect you around the blade. You have a guard across the top here. This one was the table saw where the blade comes from the bottom upward. You have an adjuster angle where you can have the length of the blade high or low. And you also have your guard here to make sure you cut straight. Circular saw types. Circular saw types. There are many different types of circular saw blades. These include tooth blades, cross-cut wood cutting blades, ripping wood cutting blades, combination of wood cutting blades, fiber cement cutting blades, aluminum or plastic cutting blades, non-tooth blades, or masonry. The masonry is usually going to be, such as your example here, it may be a carbide tip, which is like a grinding wheel type blade. For masonry, tile cutting, and metal cutting. The blade here is a tooth blade. With the tooth being spread out, it's going to do a ripping cut. It won't make a fine cut. When you have the blade where you have multiple teeth involved, the cut becomes much finer. Any questions, please? Anyone? All right, we'll move on. Warning. I have some graphic material here. Please pay attention. The following 4 slides are not for the squeamish or weak stomach. They're very graphic. I wanted to present this to you to let you see the seriousness involved in using a circular saw. I'd rather you see this example than have the example be one of the students in class. This could be you. Don't let it. Follow safety rules. This particular person, you can see where the blade went across his finger. That accident could have been done by not watching where he was cutting or putting the saw down where his hand was and not paying attention, or the saw could have been placed by someone else. Whenever you work, make sure you have a clear and safe area. Safety is extremely important. Make sure you understand that. Why is safety important? Circular saw blades are very dangerous, students. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, average of 38,000 treated at ER for table saw injuries alone. 2 deaths in the last 10 years. Injuries occur primarily from blade contact, kickback of workpiece, or flying debris. The pictures here demonstrate the severity of a table saw. Why is safety important? Injuries include lacerations, amputations, fractures, avulsions. Causes of accidents. Common cause of accidents. Inexperienced operators. That's why we stress safety, students. We want to stress safety. OSHA has a guideline that we have to follow. Safety guards. Do not remove them. The purpose of a safety guard is to make sure you don't cut yourself. Safety switches. Disabled. Lack of personal protective equipment, which is PPE, or personal protection equipment, eyeglasses. Lack of attention to safety precautions. The issue of safety. Circular saws safety is important and a major concern because of the widespread of usage. Often used by unskilled operators, new homeowners purchase equipment because they want to use them and don't know how. Regular use for non-conventional cuts, meaning you're taking a circular saw and you're using it for something. You could use a chainsaw or maybe a handsaw. Commonly used are unstable and uneven surfaces, meaning you're using a circular saw and your base plate is not level. Safety rules and precautions. Use PPE. Class, what is PPE? Personal protection equipment, such as safety goggles and gloves. With circular saws, gloves, class, are not allowed. It makes it dangerous. Keep floor surface where working free of debris, tripping, or slipping hazards. Keep cutting tools sharp. If you're using a circular saw, from time to time the blade will become dull. If your blade is dull, please change it. OSHA, Office of Training and Education.